Hi, Sai Uchinanchu and Uchinanchu supporters. Rob Kajiwara here. Today, I wanted to talk with you about the reasons why the United States does not listen to Okinawa, why the United States doesn't listen or care about Okinawan issues. So, it really comes down to the fact that the United States and the United Nations and many other countries and human rights organizations and environmental organizations around the world, pretty much everyone sees Okinawa as just another prefecture in Japan. So they see Okinawan issues as domestic Japanese issues. And because it's a domestic issue, other countries, including the United States and including the United Nations, they don't really care about it. Okay, they say this is a domestic Japanese issue, so Japan has to settle it. So we don't want to get involved. That's what they say. Okay. Even just last year, Senator Mazie Hirono from Hawaii, she said the same thing. She said that if a country asks the U.S. military to leave, she said they will leave. Okay? They don't go anywhere. Well, I shouldn't say that, but I was going to say they don't go anywhere without permission, but that's not really true, as we saw in Iraq and Afghanistan and Vietnam and a lot of other places. Okay, but they don't maintain foreign military bases without the permission of the local government. And by local government, I mean the country's government, okay? Not the prefecture's government, but the country's government. That's what Mazie Hirono said, Senator Mazie Hirono. So she basically said that if Japan told the U.S. military to leave Okinawa, or to leave Henoko specifically, they would leave. But Japan's not going to do that because they are very prejudiced against Okinawans. Okay, the Japanese government, especially Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, they're very prejudiced towards Uchinanchu. We already know that. So Japan is not going to help Okinawa at all. Okay, they want to use Okinawa just like they did during World War II. Right? They sacrificed Okinawa. They let 200,000 Uchinanchu be murdered. They forced Uchinanchu to commit suicide because they didn't want the Uchinanchu to join the American side. Okay, they are very prejudiced against Uchinanchu. They did it before. They will do it again. We already know that. So, but going back to what I was saying, the U.S. doesn't care about Okinawan issues because they consider it to be domestic Japanese issues. Same with the United Nations, same with many other organizations and countries all around the world. They're not going to listen. So I think it's important for Okinawa to exert its democratic right to self-determination. The very definition of democracy is rule by the people for the people. Democracy is not rule by someone else for someone else. It's not rule by Japan for Okinawa. That's not what democracy is supposed to be. It's rule by Okinawa for Okinawa. That's what democracy is. I mean, the United States would not tolerate England making decisions for itself. For the United States would not tolerate England making decisions for the United States, right? That's why the United States worked so hard to gain its independence from England. And that's why the U.S. became an independent country. And we all know that Okinawa, or more specifically Ryukyu, was an independent country up until 1879 when Japan invaded it against the will of Okinawans. So it comes back down to self-determination. Okinawa has to exert its right to self-determination. Okinawa was independent for all of history up until 1879. And now, all of a sudden, Japan is trying to make decisions for it, and the U.S. is making decisions for it. It's not right. It doesn't work in Okinawa. It doesn't work for the Uchinaji people. Uchinaji, we have our own separate and unique history, culture, languages, identity, and we understand the land of Ryukyu, the land and the sea of the Ryukyu Islands. Japanese don't understand. Americans don't understand. Okay, it's only Ryukyu people who understand Ryukyu. That's it. So, in my opinion, it's crucial that Okinawa regains its self-determination, meaning that Ryukyu or Okinawa makes decisions for itself. That's it. No one else makes decisions for Ryukyu. Only Ryukyu. That's it. Now, what does self-determination look like? The obvious answer would be independence, right? Regaining Ryukyu's independence. But I understand that a lot of Okinawans are afraid to support independence for a lot of different reasons. I know that there's a stigma against it. I know that the Japanese government will intimidate you if you support independence, and will, try to cause you a lot of problems if you support independence. I know that. So self-determination does not necessarily have to be independence, although ideally it should be. That's what democracy is: ruled by the people, for the people. What else could self-determination look like? One idea is having Okinawa or Ryukyu be an autonomous prefecture in Japan. For example, China has several autonomous regions within China, where a certain region has some degree of autonomy, meaning they can create at least some of their own rules and regulations for themselves. Not in terms of like foreign policy, but for within that region, they have some leeway to make their own decisions. So that's one possibility that Okinawa could pursue. Because right now, the way it is, the Japanese government doesn't listen to Okinawa at all. They just consider Okinawa to be another prefecture in Japan. Japan has a lot of prefectures, and they're saying, well, why should we listen to Okinawa? They're just one tiny little prefecture. Same with the United States. Same with the United Nations. They're all saying the same thing. Like, Okinawa is just a part of Japan. It's just another prefecture in Japan. So they're not going to listen. So that's why I think it's crucial for Okinawa to assert its democratic right to self-determination and say, we're not going to allow anyone to build military bases in Okinawa. Okay? Like, the Okinawa people have to say, we are the people of Okinawa, and this is our democratic right. We don't want this military base, and therefore that's it. Like, we can't have anyone else, not Japanese, not Americans, not anyone else violating the rights of Okinawans. Okay, that's my advice. I don't see any other way around it. The idea that I've heard some Okinawans say, oh, well, Okinawans, we're Okinawan and Japanese at the same time. And it just doesn't work like that. It doesn't work. The Japanese government doesn't listen to that. The U.S. government doesn't listen to that. The United Nations doesn't listen to that. They don't care one bit. If you say it like that, they're not going to listen, okay? But if you say, no, we're Okinawans. We're not Japanese. We're Okinawans. We were independent until 1879. We have our own unique history, culture, languages, and identity. And we are the indigenous people of Okinawa. And this is our democratic right to make our own decisions. If you say that, then people will start to listen to you. The Japanese government is going to be furious if you say that. But the United States government will start to listen. The United Nations will really start to listen. Other countries around the world will really start to pay attention if you say it like that. Because then it becomes an international issue. It becomes a human rights issue. It becomes an issue of self-determination, of independence, of sovereignty. But if you say, no, we're Okinawans and we're Japanese at the same time, no one's going to listen to that. Sorry, it's just the truth. No one's going to listen. Because then they think, oh, this is just a domestic Japanese issue and we don't need to get involved. We shouldn't get involved because it's a domestic issue and we don't want to interfere with domestic issues. That's what they're going to say. That's what they're already saying. And they're going to continue to say that until Okinawa asserts its right to self-determination. So there you go. That's my opinion. That's my advice. You don't have to listen to me if you don't want to, but you know, I'm putting it out there. So it's available for you to hear, you know, if you want to. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like the video if you liked it. You know, thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more videos, more of my videos, and please feel free to leave us a comment down below. Doing these things just helps us spread our message across YouTube. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time.